Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anu. I'm a holistic mindset and life coach, and I'm here to remind you that you can be, do, and have anything that you want. I offer one-on-one coaching, and you can find all the details in the description box below. I do individual calls, and I also have a package of 28 days where we focus on reprogramming your subconscious mind, creating new neural pathways. Simply put, you get out of autopilot mode so that you can be a new version of yourself. So today's topic is something which is now not just my practice, but it is my lifestyle. It's very automated in my system. And this is something that I came across in 2010 or 11 when I read the book, The Secret. And I am talking about gratitude. Now, gratitude from the point of law of attraction is a little bit different than how I would be addressing today in this video, so just bear with me for a while because I might talk about the law of attraction because that's how I came across gratitude as a tool or a practice. I have nothing against the law of attraction. That was actually how my journey started, and I've mentioned that in my previous videos as well. But there are few things which I find not relatable anymore. For instance, law of attraction talks about vibrations and frequencies, and there are a lot of rules. For instance, there are certain words when it comes to affirmations, you cannot use any negative words. So yes, I've been there, done that, practiced it. Does the law of attraction work? Yes, it does. But again, it's one of those schools which gives you tools and techniques and a lot of rules. For me, understanding consciousness, like I said, even previously, or perhaps all my videos, was a breakthrough because you get into the driver's seat. You are in charge of your life, and you don't give your power away to something external. Now, in the law of attraction, they talk about the universe granting you your wishes. So a very basic principle is ask, believe, receive, which I think is a beautiful way to look at mindset, because it tells you that you have to ask, you have to be very precise about what you truly want, what you truly desire. The next step is to believe that you already have it. And then the third step of receiving it is when it actually shows up in your physical reality. The entire thing sounds very simple, but if you have old neural pathways, this can get a little bit of a process, and it comes up with a lot of questions. And that's why I try to cover different topics in this channel, just so that I can then talk about consciousness. But I've given you a glimpse of what I think about consciousness in all my videos. What was very striking for me when I was reading The Secret was not just the materialistic achieving or receiving part, but also Rhonda's story, because Rhonda's story itself was the biggest testimonial that she could come up with this entire concept of The Secret, which again, it was not brand new information or something. It has been used, implemented, practiced over centuries, over the past ages. We just tend to forget it because as we progress, I think as civilization, we tend to move away, further and further away from the truth, because we have liked, in a way, to complicate our simple lives and come up with more techniques, more tools to be happy, when just knowing and understanding that happiness is all within your reach because you generate it. Now, what I found challenging with the law of attraction was to be positive all the time. And that's also a topic that I've covered in my previous video, so please go and watch that one. But apart from the rules and the regulations and the frequencies and the vibrations, they also work from the subconscious mind perspective. So yes, that's where the tool of gratitude came in. So that was the first time I deliberately and consciously was made through the book. You know, they have different exercises. I was consciously made aware of a practice that you have to, at the end of the day, write 3 things that you're grateful about. Furthermore, when I went more into The Secret and then I got into the magic, it was also revolving around gratitude, but there it was you have to be grateful for something you desire as if you already have it. And I am going to be brutally honest here. It works. I don't know how, but it worked. I was in my early 20s back then, and I still was mind blown how this works. There was definitely a point where I thought, am I doing some kind of witchcraft or sorcery? Am I going against God? Because I grew up understanding God and in a quite religious environment, I would say, not just one religion, but different religions, because I come from India and that's your normal. And I thought, am I doing something against God because I only have to ask Him? I only have to ask God if I want something, and if I just be grateful for something, how am I receiving it? So there was a bit of resistance. Furthermore, Rhonda does talk about it, and she says, instead of God, we call it the universe, which now it's become quite a hit term. We talk about the universe. The universe is giving you all your wishes. It's coming from a neutral field of not saying God, because it can be associated to just one religion. And I thought, okay, the universe is giving me everything, so later on that resistance is something that I could come over. The most interesting part for me was still understanding how this gratitude thing is working. And now I have cracked the code. The simple thing with gratitude exercises, be it whether you're grateful for something you have or something you desire, when you focus consciously on things that you're grateful for, you're automatically calming your nervous system, and you're now out of survival mode, because now your attention is no longer on to the things that bother you, on to the things that trigger you. You've shifted your awareness. So yes, it calms you down. It brings you back to the present. It brings you back to the moment. But what it also does is it prepares your system into the receiving mode automatically. It opens your heart in a way, because you're putting your defense down. You're putting your survival mode down. You're calming your system because there's nothing to be afraid of. You are already grateful. It's like falling in love. When you fall in love, everything around you is nice and beautiful. Even when you go to the street, you smile at people. People look at you and they smile back, because you embody that feeling. You are generating that feeling of being in love. And the same thing happens with gratitude. You are now embodying everything. You're embodying this personality who's so satisfied, who's so happy, who's just okay with everything. And that's when miracles happen, because now you don't have your walls up. Now you are willing, not just consciously, but automatically. You've opened your heart, and now you can receive. You cannot receive with your fist closed. For that, you have to open your hand in order to receive something. And what we do in survival mode, actually, we close our fist. We build walls. Again, I'm not blaming or shaming anyone. And then what happens is we push people away, or push abundance away automatically. When you practice gratitude, like I said, you are being more aware, or your focus goes on to the things that are nice in your life, where you're not complaining at the moment, you're quite satisfied at the moment. And there to understand what I'm actually doing is I am shifting my awareness. My awareness, there again, I am the one creating this experience. That was my breakthrough, because it was no longer ask, believe, receive to something external. It was no longer ask the universe outside of me, believe that the universe outside of me is going to give me, and then receive it from the universe that's outside of me, external to me. And I'm the one who is in this position of asking or begging or pleading or requesting. Understanding consciousness is when you know, I am the universe. Each and every one of us, we all are our own individual universe, connected to that one source that's non-duality. There is no separation. And just in my last video, I had mentioned this. If you have a desire that's already yours, because you are not separate from anything or anyone, it just cannot be, because we all belong to that one consciousness. Anyway, getting back to the topic. When you are aware of the things that are nice in your life, where you practice gratitude, it's your awareness that's doing the magic. It's your awareness which is now lifting the blindfold, and all of a sudden you're out of the survival mode and you think, oh, what was I complaining about? But see, the thing is, you have to keep doing this over and over again until that becomes your autopilot. If you've been complaining and life has been tough to you, I don't know, for 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life, no matter how long, it becomes a habit. And this entire topic came to my mind when I was spending time with a very dear friend. He was in such a painful position where he could not talk good about any aspect of his life. In fact, the ones that are actually, from my view, my point of view, I see it. That's something that perhaps he is so okay with at the moment, which was clearly stable. But he found fault in everything because that becomes your personality. Gratitude is a good exercise, not just for you to be positive. I honestly, I don't get the point of, you have to be positive all the time and everything. It's a beautiful quality to have. I have to admit that I would rather spend an evening with people who are positive and we talk about nice things, not about someone who's just complaining. But of course, if my friends are there, they need me when they're down, I am there for them. That's the entire purpose. And I've said this to all my friends. I don't care if you call me when you celebrate something, but if you're suffering and then you don't call me, I will get offended. That's what friends should do. That's what family does. And we as human beings, hopefully, we do that because we all coexist, right? What gratitude does is it shifts your outlook. It shifts the way you're looking at life now. And you have to start with baby steps. I started by journaling at the end of the day, where I would write 3 things that I was grateful for that actually happened that day. And again, now I'm talking about when I was 19 or 20 and I was not in the best place of my life. I've mentioned this also in my previous video. I did it as a practice deliberately, consciously, because I was afraid. I was afraid that if I break, if I suffer, it won't be good for everyone around me. So that was my choice. Now I don't do it from that perspective because now it's a lifestyle. I think I did it so much that it's now my autopilot. And that's the position where you want to get to, where even if you miss a bus or you miss a train, you're still grateful for it. It's no longer me sitting and figuring out or, conditioning my own mind. Oh no, don't complain about it. Just be grateful. There's something, everything has a purpose. Everything has its meaning. It's all working in your favor. I don't even have to do that entire monologue. For me, now it's so automatic. Something that I feel through my logical mind that this is not good. It's so automatic. No, it's all working in my favor. I'm grateful that happened. I don't know yet, but in the future when I look back, 100% I'm going to be grateful for, and do that. Do this as a practice. Look at your major life events from the past, which you thought you would never come out of, or you thought this is something which is so horrible at the moment. I don't want to know what good it can bring, and then figure out what good actually happened because of that. We can take this example to understand our past heartbreaks. We can take this example to understand all the previous jobs that we lost. Everything. I think even for me with my physical crisis, it became eventually so automatic that I could figure out its purpose. And that gives you strength because it does not make you suffer and whine and cry and try to fight and figure out what is this and why is this happening to me. Have trust, have faith, have gratitude. It can feel difficult at that present moment. Right now, if you're experiencing pain, whether it's emotional pain or physical pain, I understand that you cannot be grateful at the moment for that pain. Tell yourself, I don't know why this is here, for what purpose this is here. But I'm sure when I look back, I'll be grateful for it. Accept it. The more you fight something, the more you resist something, the more it's going to persist. Because everything has its purpose. There's a reason to everything. There's order in chaos. Allow yourself to experience or go through whatever you're going through, but don't lose your vision. Again, I'm repeating myself from my previous video. You are at point A, your desire is at point B. Have that faith, have that conviction, have that gratitude. Whatever has to happen for me to get from point A to point B is unfolding right now. So it's all working in my favor. It's all a puzzle falling into its perfect place. I don't need to sweat. I don't need to stress because that's not my job. I'm here to experience. I'm here to play the game of life, and I'm going to do it without stressing. Now, in the start of the video, I mentioned that I was using the gratitude technique mentioned by Rhonda in the book The Secret. If you want to do it that way, you can do it, where people use it as a tool to manifest or get their desires, right? Through the law of attraction. So what I used to do, I used to be grateful for everything that I used to desire, and I used to be in the present moment. Let's just say I desire, I don't know, this pen. So this pen is the best pen of my life and everything, and I don't have it. And right now I'm just like, I am so grateful that I have that pen. That's my desire. That's what I want to manifest. And you do it over and over again, and you can get a bit more descriptive. I love the way this pen feels when I hold it, and it's an ink pen and it writes so nicely and so smoothly, blah, blah, blah. I'm so grateful that I can write all these letters and send them home. Now, you can do all of that, or you can know if you embody that. If you don't have resistance, you don't need repetition. I do mention about repetition in my videos. It depends on your conditioning. It depends on how much you can believe in your power. The moment you know who you are, truly, you don't need repetition. You might use affirmations or any tools and techniques to get back to that reminder, get back to your higher self, get back, put your ego a little bit on the back burner, get back to your original state, your natural state, which is calm, peace, unconditional love. Again, I don't want you to misunderstand that you need to get a journal and you need to be writing all the gratitude things. If you want to do it, do it. I've done it in the past. I still do it sometimes when I'm in the mood of writing. I do it, but I don't think my life depends on it because gratitude is now my autopilot. I'm just naturally now so grateful. It's like you cannot take it out of my system anymore because it's become a habit. So if you want to go down that route and you want to be grateful for things that you have or the things you dream of having, do it. But also know it's not the journals that's bringing you your desire, it's you. It's a beautiful quality to have, trust me, because it shifts you out of your survival mode, because it shifts you out of your automated or autopilot conditioning. Then you replace that with your gratitude, and that's your new normal. And you will see how doors open for you, how you have opportunities. That's the good thing about it, that you don't have to micromanage, you don't have to manage everything, you don't have to know what's what frequency and vibration and this and that. You don't have to know any of that. That's, again, I think a lot of conditioning. There are no rules. You make the rules because it's your reality. Just know, as you, pure divine consciousness, you are the whole and soul of your life, of your reality, of your experiences. Everything that unfolds in your life, you are responsible for it. And you should feel empowered by this information. You should not feel, oh, it's my fault and everything is bad around me, so I'm responsible for it. Well, when you talk about personal accountability, that's something different. That's not blaming or shaming yourself. Now, when you're aware of it, when you have all of this information, how are you changing your habits? How are you changing your personality? Which version of yourself are you choosing to be? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Am I being the version of myself who has everything? Am I behaving like a person who has my desire, or am I still behaving like a beggar? Am I still behaving like a victim? Ask yourself these questions. How would a person who has all these desires from the list live, act, walk, talk, everything? I'm not saying you have to fake it. It's a feeling, it's an emotion. You don't have to go out and, buy a fancy car just to prove that you're rich. How does a rich version of you feel? Feels freedom, feels happy, maybe feels content, doesn't have to stress about paying the bills. That's the emotion I talk about. I don't talk about the money that you're going to have in your bank account because that's just a side effect. Same thing with relationships, with love. Sitting around and complaining that no one wants to go out with me and then every man or every woman just leaves me and I'm, just a doormat. How would you feel as that ideal partner? How would you feel? Don't put yourself through that stress. Get out of survival mode and use gratitude as a wonderful tool to make that happen. Anyway, That's the video for today. I hope it was useful. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and also like the video and leave a comment so that it reaches out to other people who might be interested in similar topics. I come out with a new video every Friday, and I'll see you all next week then. Sending you lots of love. Bye.